If your energy crashes at 2 p.m. like clockwork, that's not supposed to happen. Low T might be your problem. Doctors say just get on TRT, take weekly shots forever. Cool, except for the expense of $1,000 per year and the fact that it shuts down your natural production. And it comes with some long-term questions that we should be asking ourselves. So go the natural route. Go with Mars Men. It's a potent, natural testosterone stack that helps your body produce natural testosterone on its own. No needles, no synthetics, no shutdown. It's like resetting the factory instead of closing it. Tongkat Ali, Shilajit, zinc and boron. Real ingredients that help support healthy T levels, strength, stamina, and recovery. You will have a steady energy all day, stronger lifts, sharper focus. For a limited time, our users get 50% off for life plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. After the purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Let them know I sent you. Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. Guys, here's what happened. You saw the first round, you saw the second round, you saw the third, fourth, and the fifth. It was rinse and repeat. When we over here at Bad Guy Inc. ultimately put our pick in, and we said we're going to go with Charles Oliveira, it was for two reasons. One, there was a confidence that Charles had. And I feel that word confidence is the most overused, misunderstood, and innately corrupted word in our space. But you know it when you see it, right? The fact that Charles lost to Max 10 years ago and for 10 years has asked for Max. The night that he lost to Max, he tried to get a rematch with Max. When Charles was in the division, he tried to get a rematch with Max. When Charles left the division, thus making it impossible to get a fight with Max, he tried to get a rematch with Max. Like there was something about that first thing, that first feeling. And Charles knew it was all mental. He knew these lights are too bright. I didn't think I belonged out there. I surprised myself. Let me try it again. All right. So we also have to use history as any kind of projection to the future. And if you go back to Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson, that's really the night that Charles became Charles. There's a whole bunch of stars in the sport, big top 5 guys, but there's a bunch of studs in the sport, 6 through 10. But 6 through 10, the guys 1 through 5 would only play with themselves. They get up the ladder and they pull it up behind them. Tony Ferguson is the only one to get up in the loft and then leave the ladder down so somebody could climb up and play, and that somebody was Charles. But it was 3 takedowns, 1 per round for 15 minutes. It was absolute domination, and we did not know up until that point that Charles Oliveira possessed such a strong and effective double-leg takedown. We then get reminded of it again at Madison Square Garden when Charles is taking on Michael Chandler. And of all the ways you wanted to play that fight out in your mind, you did not imagine ground and pound, more ground and pound than not ground and pound. The majority of the fight being in the top-bottom position with Charles on top. Nobody pictured that. So that was the big thing when I was giving my own prediction with Max. Look, I don't question Max in a fisticuffs. I think that Charles has some pretty unique power, but just enough to protect himself. If he were to get into championship rounds, I'm talking Charles, he would be as fatigued as everybody else, it would seem, unless Charles got to the 4th and the 5th round by laying on top of Max. Listen, if my calculations were correct, from the moment that fight started, Charles was 3 takedowns away from becoming the BMF champion. Very cool that Max put it up. Very cool that the organization put it up. Now, on the heels of this, I had just spoken with Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor said that he has been notified by both Charles's team and Max's team that whoever wins is planning to call him out. Now, Conor wanted that call out and let both of those teams know, if he does, I will accept. But it didn't go in that direction. For some reason, Charles had a different idea, and he was pretty wide open and he was pretty appreciative. In fact, if we were to break down the only meaningful call out of the night, Kyle Brawl called out Dricus du Plessis. Max, something big's coming for. Charles is the reigning champion. Something big is coming for. but what Charles wants to do, and moreover, what weight class he wants to do it, because there was a caveat with fighting Conor, which is we got to do it at 170 pounds. So all of these things are still up in the air, but ultimately the good news has come in. Charles Oliveira danced with the one that brought him. He remembered his skills. He didn't leave him in the back. He remembered he used that world-class jiu-jitsu. You got to take the guy down first. He walked through fire. He was prepared to do it for 25 minutes. He almost found a submission. It was unanimous on all judges' scorecards. All 5 rounds go to Oliveira. No rounds favored Max. That is what happened.